संस्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। So as you know, we'll be carrying forward our pictorial, life of Sri Ramakrishna. So today we've already covered the part of his sadhana. So today we will be seeing the places he visited in Calcutta and the eminent persons he met in the city, and also the most important thing, that whenever he saw something, any person or any significant place, how he could derive a spiritual message from that. So that is a wonderful study. So what we will do is, we will not only see the photographs of those places, but also study what how Sri Ramakrishna connected those places and circumstances with spiritual life. So that is a very interesting study, that how the master's mind, in whatever circumstances it was placed, it always connected everything with God and spiritual life. So that is our aim and objective. Today we will see the places he had visited in Calcutta. There were numerous places, and also the persons he had met. So fascinating journey, and most of the material we are thankful to revered Chetananandji Maharaj, from whose books I have got most of the photos, very old photos which are not available to see anywhere. So let us start our journey, Sri Ramakrishna in Calcutta. So first of all, a little introduction is necessary to understand those times. Those were very different times. Even if you go to Calcutta now, the time Sri Ramakrishna had lived was a very different time, not only as regards the buildings and the streets, etc., but the whole cultural setup, political setup was different, because we must remember that the English ruled over India at that time. So things were completely different. So in the 19th century, Calcutta was the capital of the British Empire in India. Now we know the capital is Delhi, but that time Calcutta was the capital. And the city was absolutely inundated with Western culture. Most young people, younger generation, were argumentative and skeptical, and they thought that science and all technology is everything. So the background of 19th century Calcutta, without understanding that, we cannot understand how Sri Ramakrishna reacted to the westernized people, not Westerners, but Indian people who were westernized. So this time in which Sri Ramakrishna lived was a revolutionary time for the state of Bengal and for India as a whole. There was a renaissance in religion, literature, education, social movement and politics. And we know that British rule had brought Western civilization and of course Christianity to India. So these were very powerful forces during those times. They were sweeping aside our tradition, Hindu society, civilization, and of course also religion. So Indians were dazzled by the Western science, philosophy, literature, and unfortunately also their materialistic outlook on life. Now these Christian missionaries took advantage of the Indian people's blind and helpless condition and attacked our religious values, custom, literature, etc., etc. So many young people in Calcutta became confused, lost confidence in themselves, and began imitating the West. So you'll be surprised to know that during those times, when there was talk of, the news of the Parliament of Religions being held in Chicago had reached Calcutta. So now prominent Hindus of the city, they thought that let us send a representative of Hinduism also. And you'll be surprised to know that many eminent people, most eminent Hindus of Calcutta, they voted against that. They said, what is there in Hinduism that we have to present, that we can present that before such an august audience, such a Western audience? What is there in our religion? There is nothing worth presenting in Hinduism. That is what they had said. Just imagine, how our self-esteem, the self-esteem of Indians, how it had gone down. They were thinking that it was all a mistake. Thousands of years of these rishis and saints, it is all a tremendous mistake, and we have to just wipe out everything and become completely westernized if we have to survive. That was the situation. So this we have to understand when we see how Ramakrishna met people, how he influenced them. So we have seen last time that Ramakrishna attained perfection after strenuous sadhana of many, many years, and he traveled along various religious paths, even Christianity, Islam, etc. And from his own experience, he discovered that all religions lead to one and the same goal. So with that realization behind him, that strength of that realization, only he could meet these people who were absolutely drowned in Western culture. So we will see, it is really amazing how without any formal education, Sri Ramakrishna faced agnostics, atheists, skeptics, materialists, and they were all silenced before him. This unlettered Brahmin, they could not answer his questions or they could not dispute his realizations. Even very eminent persons were overwhelmed and speechless when they met him and of course observed his samadhi. So now we will see some of the places he visited. He must have visited many places, but of course we don't know all of them because he never mentioned all of them. It was not possible. Only we can rely upon the records we have. So Dakshineshwar temple, we have seen some photographs. Maybe another day we can have another discussion solely on the Dakshineshwar temple and the grounds. But today we will see that he also visited various places in Canada, in Calcutta, and various homes of devotees in Calcutta and suburbs also. In those places he taught, sang, danced, and of course created a spiritual atmosphere. In those days, Brahmo Samaj was a very powerful force because Keshav Chandra Sen was still alive. So he attended services at the various branches of Brahmo Samaj. We will see all that. And he attended festivals at the home of Brahmo devotees and also Vaishnava festivals in Panihati. Then he also visited the Krishna temple at Kamarhati, the Sham Sundar temple at Kharda, and the Kali temple in Kali Ghat. Also places like our zoo, Calcutta Zoo, and museum, the Maidan, the big field in central Calcutta, the circus, the monument which is now known as the Shaheed Minar and the Viceroy's Palace. Now it is called the Governor's House, and also the great painter Nandalal Bose's photo gallery. So he learned something new in each of these places and shared his experience with devotees. So luckily it is on record. Sometimes you know the exact date, and also what Sri Ramakrishna said when he visited those places. We will see how he connected everything to spiritual life. So let us start. So first we will see the vehicle in which Sri Ramakrishna travelled. It is not, he didn't have any motor car or something. So it was all horse carriages. Let's show you can see the carriage here. So in these carriages Sri Ramakrishna travelled in those days, and we will see an original photograph of Thakur that was. Now what we see, images are all edited, all the scratches and all that from the image have been removed, otherwise it won't look nice. But I'll show you the unedited original photo of Sri Ramakrishna, one of them. This is the photograph. So you can see it was such an old photograph, all these markings are there. So those have all been removed before we give these photographs to others. So now we will start with Sri Ramakrishna's meeting with Keshav Chandra Sen. So in 1875 he first met Keshav Chandra Sen, who was one of the greatest figures of the Brahmo movement at that time. So about Brahmo Samaj, you may know a little. Brahmo Samaj was a 19th century Indian socio-religious reform movement. It was devoted to Brahman with attributes. They believed that although Brahman is formless, but it has some qualities. This movement was founded by Ram Mohan Roy. 1772 to 1833 he lived. He passed away before Thakur was born, and organized by Devendranath Tagore. 1817 to 1905 was the lifespan of Devendranath Tagore. And in 1857, Keshav Chandra Sen became the third leader of the movement. And in 1878, there was a difference of opinion between the leaders of the movement. It was divided. So now there was a separate Brahmo Samaj led by Keshav Chandra Sen, which was called the Nava Vidhan, the new dispensation. And from earlier there was the Sadharan Brahmo Samaj led by Vijay Krishna Goswami and Shivnath Shastri. And then there was the Adi Brahmo Samaj, first Brahmo Samaj. So this is what happens when we start quarreling. The same organization is split up, but Thakur had no quarrel with anybody. So he went to all those places. We will see the photographs. So Thakur, when he first met Keshav, that was at Jai Gopal's garden house. So at the very first meeting, Sri Ramakrishna could see that Keshav was not an ordinary person. So when he saw Keshav meditating, he told that Keshav, many people were meditating there. So he gave the remark that Keshav is the only person who has dropped his tail. So people began to laugh. What does this mean? That dropped his tail, what does it mean? So he explained that the tadpole, as long as it has not dropped its tail, lives only in water. It cannot go about in dry land. But when it drops its tail, it can live on land as well as water. Similarly, so long as man has not dropped his tail of ignorance, he can only live in the water of the world. But when he drops his tail, that is, when he attains knowledge, he can roam about as a free soul. So he can live in the world also, with God also. So this shows that in what regard Keshav was held by Sri Ramakrishna. And on 28th November 1883, Sri Ramakrishna visited Keshav Chandra Sen when he was very ill. And then we know that Keshav actually passed away. He did not recover. So now we will see the places, some Keshav's house. I'll just show you. Keshav's house was known as the Lily Cottage. This is the Lily Cottage. This is a very old photograph. This is 1936. It looked like this. And this is a recent photograph of the same cottage. So right on top you can see the name written in red, Kamala Kuti. Kamala Kuti. Kamala is lotus, Kuti of course cottage. So that's how it derived its name. So now after this we will see how Sri Ramakrishna visited the other branches of Brahmo Samaj. He also visited the places of worship of the other two wings of Brahmo Samaj, that is the Adi Brahmo Samaj and the Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. So we find that in the Gospel Sri Ramakrishna says, Keshav at one time thought a great deal of Christianity. He was very much devoted to Christ. At that time and even before, he belonged to Devendranath Tagore's organization, that is the Adi Brahmo Samaj. I visited Devendranath Samaj at Jodasako and found Keshav meditating on the dais. He was a young man then. I said to Mathur, of all who are meditating there, only this man is actually experiencing real meditation. Just by seeing Thakur could tell. So we will see the photograph of that Adi Brahmo Samaj. Then on 26 September 1884, Sri Ramakrishna also visited the Sadharan Brahmo Samaj, and he taught the members there. He told them, live in the world like a maid servant in a rich man's house. She performs all the household duties, but in her heart she knows that that household does not belong to her. Her household is somewhere else. Likewise, do your worldly duties, but know that your house, family, son, etc. don't belong to you. They are all God's. So we will see the photographs of these branches of Brahmo Samaj now. I'll just share. This is the photograph of Adi Brahmo Samaj. This is the photograph of Adi Brahmo Samaj, that Devendranath Tagore. Now of course you can see the condition. Hardly, it's just somehow existing, that's all. You can see all the windows and all are broken. I don't know if anybody goes there at all. And this is the Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. All this we have seen so many times. They are on that, passed through these buildings so many times. Of course, I never entered this building, Brahmo Samaj, so I don't know what it is like inside. Maybe it's just a hall, because they believed in formless God. So how can you put any image of formless God? And this is the Nava Vidhan, that is Keshav's Samaj. So maybe it is still a little active, maybe some persons go there, we don't really know. So this much about Sri Ramakrishna's interaction and visit to Brahmo Samaj. So now we will go to Rani Rasmani's and Mathur Babu's house. We have seen that it was in Jan Bazar. Jan Bazar, central Calcutta, just very near Esplanade. And from where I had stayed at Advaita Ashrama in Calcutta is hardly 5 minutes drive, 5 to 10 minutes drive. So we have gone there so many times. So various incidents are there of Sri Ramakrishna's experiences and stay, because he had gone many times. So once he had gone into Samadhi there, and the Durga Puja's time was there, then his mind would not come down from Samadhi. Then Mathur's wife Jagadamba Dasi, somehow she brought her mind down. And there was also an unpleasant incident when Sri Ramakrishna was in Samadhi, he was lying down. Then one person, he was very jealous because Mathur Babu was specially considerate to Thakur. So he said to Thakur, "You rascal, how have you gained? How have you hypnotized Mathur? You have to tell me." Thakur could not hear him at all. Then he kicked Sri Ramakrishna. So all these things happened. And once Durga Puja was there, after Durga Puja, Mathur did not want to immerse the image. He said, "How can I let mother go? She will be here all throughout the year." Then the people told Sri Ramakrishna, "Mathur, anybody who touches that image, he will have to answer to me all that," he said. So nobody dared to do anything. Then Sri Ramakrishna called. So he just touched him, and Mathur's mind became calm, and of course then they could immerse the image at the proper time. So we will see 4 photographs of that Rani Rasmani's and Mathur Babu's house. We will see the outside also and the inside also. We have already discussed. It was a huge house, Yeah. So this is the house. You can see a huge place. You can see how many rooms can be there. You can just imagine. And it stretches far beyond. You cannot see all of it. So this 200 years of heritage in Calcutta, this building. Then this is the courtyard, inner part of the Rani's house. Still very much there. This is the Durga image. Durga Puja, I think, is celebrated now also every year there. So this Durga Puja, you can see Durga's image. It's for slightly different complexion there. Little reddish face is there. And this is the courtyard of Mathur Babu's house there. It's quite well maintained, you can see, because this is a recent photograph. And this is a very rare photograph of wife of Mathur Babu, Jagadamba Dasi. So this I have also taken from Chetananji's book, and I also saw this photograph for the first time in that book. So from where Maharaj got all these photographs, only he knows. Years and years of research. So this much about Sri Ramakrishna's visit to house of Rani Rasmani and Mathur Babu. Now we will see the places of some other devotees of Thakur there. First is Jadulal Malik. Jadulal Malik was a very rich person, and it was there in his house that the master had a vision of Christ. So Swami Adbhutananda Latu Maharaj had gone there with the master, And when the worship of goddess Simhavayini was there, Simhavayini means the goddess who rides on a lion, Simhavayini. So we will see the image of that goddess also. And then Sri Ramakrishna also had a conversation with Jadu Babu there, Jadulal Malik. So Jadulal Malik was lying on a marble bench at that time, and when the master had gone, he greeted, because those people did not realize master's greatness. No, how could they realize? So just they treated him as a, but still something was there in them. That is the why they could see the master. So they said, "Oh, please welcome, and how you have come after a long time." So master also told him, "See, mother has come, Simhavayini has come to your house, and you didn't even tell me." Then Jadulal said, "Oh priest, I do not know a person so well informed as you. I did not inform you, but still you came to know somehow that mother has come here, and you also came to see the mother." So we will see two photographs of that place. One is the house and one is the goddess Simhavayini. These old places, when you visit in Calcutta, I mean, you are carried huge houses, huge pillars, you can see here. And the doors and all, you see such old wood, and that people where they sit on the right side, you can see, and all the marble standing, all these vases. So the big, very rich people, zamindars, they had these kinds of huge mansions. So it's really, when you go inside, you are transported to that earlier times. And this is the goddess Simhavayini. Very clear photograph. You can see here. So maybe they worship every year now also, I don't really know. But this is a comparatively recent photograph, so most probably they worship there. So this is about master's visit to the devotee Jadulal Malik. Now another devotee, Shambhu Charan Malik. Shambhu Charan Malik is a very important person because Sri Ramakrishna had marked some persons who had been appointed by Divine Mother to fulfill his needs. So one of them was Mathur Babu, we know, the most important. Another one was Shambhu Charan Malik. So he had the great good fortune to take care of the master, and actually he also read the Bible to the master. So Sri Ramakrishna had told there were 4 suppliers who had been appointed by Divine Mother for his well-being, and he was the second after Mathur Babu. So one day Shambhu Charan Malik expressed a desire to master, "Please bless me that I may spend all my money for good purposes such as building hospitals, dispensaries and all that." So the master corrected him that suppose God appeared before you and asked you for a boon, what will you say? Give me more hospitals and dispensaries? Or will you say that give me love for you, give me devotion? So just pray to God, may I have pure love for you. May I have your vision. Hospitals, dispensaries are here tomorrow and gone tomorrow. So now we will see that photograph of Shambhu Charan Malik's house at Alam Bazar. Alam Bazar, you know that is also the place of one Belur Math was there at one time. That Belur Math means the Ramakrishna order was situated there. After Baranagar, it was at Alam Bazar. So this is that house. This is that house of Shambhu Charan, which Thakur had visited. So now we come to another incident. Now this person's garden house. This is called Matilal Seal's garden house. So there is no mention of this person in the gospel as far as I know, that most probably he was not a very close devotee of Thakur, but Thakur had gone there. And Thakur had gone there and to show M, that is Master Mahashaya, how formless meditation, what is the experience of formless meditation like. So we will see how the Master described that to M also. So on June 18, 1883, Master Mahashaya recorded in the Gospel, for a long time the Master had been asking him to take him to the reservoir in the garden of Matilal Seal, so that he might teach him how to meditate on the formless God. So there were very many fishes in the reservoir. Nobody harmed those fishes, nobody caught those fishes and all that. So visitors just threw some puffed rice and all, what is called moody in Bengali, and the big fish, all that, they came and ate that food. Though fearlessly the fish swam in the water. So coming to the reservoir, the Master said to him, look at those fish, they are joyfully swimming in that water. So meditating on the formless God is like swimming joyfully in the ocean of bliss and consciousness, which is God. So we will see 3 photographs. First is of that Matilal Seal's garden house, then the alms house there, and also the fish which are there in the pond. The pond is still there, I think. So this you can see here, this is the entrance. So those who can read Bengali, they can see Motilal Shiler Thakur Badi. It is written in Bengali there. This is the entrance. Of course, I have never gone to this place. Maybe they will not allow also, because I don't think there is any devotee there. And this is the photographs of alms house. He was a charitable person, it seems. And this is the photograph of the fish. You can see those white, small white things in the river, in the pond. So those are the fish. This is just a photograph to show us what Sri Ramakrishna had showed to him, that's all. So now we come to the place called Panihati. Panihati is a very important place in the Vaishnava tradition. Vaishnava tradition means those who are the followers of Sri Chaitanya. Chaitanya, you may remember that Thakur had said that Chaitanya is also an incarnation of God. Now, in order to understand the importance of this place, I will just have to tell you about the incidents connected with it. So first, about the visits of the Master there, around the time of mid-May to mid-June, on a particular day, a special festival of the Vaishnava sect is held in the village of Panihati. It is on the right on the Ganges and a few miles north of Calcutta. So what is the importance of the place? Why do the followers of Chaitanya give so much importance of the place? Because this is the place of one of the very important disciples of Chaitanya, whose name is Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami is revered as a great saint. Many stories are there of his burning renunciation and tremendous austerities he had performed. So he belonged to Panihati, and he was the son of a very, very wealthy person. But he was full of renunciation. So he had asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be initiated into a monk's life under Chaitanya himself. So Chaitanya Dev had told him to wait, that the proper time had not come, so he just told him to wait. So Raghunath was waiting patiently that when Chaitanya will call him and grant him sannyasa. So now there is a person, all those who are familiar with Chaitanya life know that there is the name of Nityananda. Nityananda was a friend and disciple of Chaitanya. So once he went to Panihati, Raghunath's place. And when he came, naturally Raghunath came to see him because such a close disciple of Chaitanya had come. So Raghunath went and paid his respects. So many devotees had come, and then a big feast was organized for all of them, for the hundreds people who had come to see Nityananda. Nityananda was a very great saint. So after all the festivities were over, Raghunath went to make pranams to Nityananda. So Nityananda now gave him the good news that your waiting time is over. Chaitanya Dev has granted you permission. You can renounce the world and go to meet Sri Chaitanya in Puri. So he will accept you and put you under the great saint Sanatana Goswami, who will give you training. So Raghunath left Panihati forever. He left his earth and home. But every year from then on, the devotees celebrate this festival in Panihati in commemoration of this incident that Raghunath renounced the world for God. He was such a great saint. So to commemorate this and to pray that Raghunath had got the grace of Chaitanya there, so devotees also pray that they may get God's grace there. Like in 1st January, that Kalpatru Utsav, Kashipur Garden House. Thakur had blessed so many devotees, that's why you can see hundreds and thousands of people go there every year on that day, in expectation that Thakur may give his blessings. So this is the importance of that festival. And we will see a photograph of that place also, and one incident that Sardanandaji has mentioned, that when Thakur had gone to Panihati at about noon, there were many people were gathered around a peepal tree on the Ganges. We will see the photograph of that tree. The master went to a devotee's house. The devotee's name was Mani Sen. And all the members of the family were delighted to have the master. The room was decorated there, and the master stood to one side of the temple there, listening to the kirtan. So as soon as the kirtan started, the master himself came in the middle of that encircling, devotees were encircling that, and went into ecstasy and then began to dance, So people there used to tell everybody, come here, see a person, he dies, then he is again born. So actually what happened when the master went into Samadhi, there was nothing there, no heartbeat, nothing. So it's as good as death. Then he again came back. So the people used to tell, this is a man who dies but again comes back. So under this big tree, under peepal tree, annual festival is held to commemorate the feast given to Nityananda by Raghunath. So we will see some photographs. 4 photographs we will see. Just share. Mani Sen was the devotee, so we will also see his shrine, also see that huge peepal tree. So this is that place. This is the festival ground of Panihati. This people tree you can see, and of course there may be land on the left side. We cannot see in the photograph. There must be a big ground there. But this is the people tree. You can see how big it is, and it is still, I think it is very much there. Then this is Mani Sen's house, courtyard. Sri Ramakrishna had visited this house. See what an old house it is, and all the photographs and all you can see. And see the same photograph. So this is Mani Sen's temple, Radha Kanta shrine. Here you can see. Of course, this is the same photograph. And this is the photograph of Chaitanya Nityananda in that shrine. This one. You can see Chaitanya Nityananda, they were so close that they are always portrayed together. So these are some of the photographs. So now we will go to, from Panihati, we will go to Kamarhati. So Kamarhati was the place of a very, very great disciple of the Master, a very great soul, who is known as in Sri Ramakrishna circle as Gopal's mother, Gopalir Ma. Her actual name was Aghormani Devi. She was born in 1822 and she had a long life. She lived till 1906. So 78 plus 6, she lived 84 years. For by God's grace, a very long life was granted. She was a female devotee of Sri Ramakrishna who regarded the child Krishna as her deity. And she actually had visions of Gopala. She actually could see Gopala playing and running. She lived in a temple garden at Kamarhati. And the Master referred to as the Brahmani of Kamarhati. So it was in the fall of 1884 that Gopalma first met Sri Ramakrishna along with. Now, she lived in the temple garden of Kamarhati, Gopal's mother, but that did not belong to her. That belonged to a lady called Mano Mohini. So Mano Mohini was the owner of that garden, and this Mano Mohini and her husband, of course, they had a family priest. Maybe he was there for generations. So Gopal's mother was the sister of that priest. But she was friendly with the owner, that is Mano Mohini. Mano Mohini was also a very devoted lady. We will see her photograph. And so this was the Brahmani of Kamarhati. So Mano Mohini had also gone to Sri Ramakrishna. She had seen Sri Ramakrishna and also invited Sri Ramakrishna to Kamarhati. And accepting the invitation, Sri Ramakrishna had gone there and paid a visit to Govinda's temple at Kamarhati. So we will see beautiful photographs. We will see 4 photographs of Kamarhati and also the place where Sri Ramakrishna landed, and also the room from outside of where Gopal's mother lived. I just share. One second. So this is the Pithuri Ghat. Such a beautiful photo. The surroundings you can see. Beautiful landscape. There, here it was that Sri Ramakrishna landed. When he had gone to Kamakura. Those days they travelled from in Ganga and boats and all. So next is, this is Manu Mohini, that lady who owned this place. I'll just show you here. This is that lady, very noble and devoted lady. And this is the Radha Govinda temple there, which the master had visited. You can see here. This is the image inside the shrine of Radha Govinda. So these are all very much there. And now of course I'll also show you the photograph of the room in which Gopal's mother was there. So this is the room. Of course now it is, the whole building is in dilapidated condition. So this is how it looks like now. In this room she lived for years and years and years without any comfort. Nothing practically, no mattress or nothing, just she used to stay on a very, very austere conditions. Just some pots and pans for a daily cooking, just very simple food and all that. So this was the sadhana which she performed for 30 years to have the vision of God as Gopala. So when we shout, I am Brahman and all those big things, we should remember what the price which has to be paid for spiritual progress. This is the thing. So now we come to Sri Ramakrishna's meeting with the great philanthropist and saintly person Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. So when he first met Vidyasagar, he said, "Oh, today I have come to..." Vidya means knowledge, Sagar is ocean. So Sri Ramakrishna said, "Now I have come to the ocean. Till now I had only seen canals, marshlands or a river, but now I am meeting the ocean." So Vidyasagar was a very smart person, so he said, "Okay, you have come to the ocean, now you take some salted water." So Sri Ramakrishna said, No, why salted water? You are not the ocean of ignorance. You are the ocean of Vidya, that is knowledge. So you are the ocean of condensed milk. Yeah. So I will show the photograph of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar's house. This is a recent photograph as it is now. Good, very good quality photograph, you can see here. This street on which the house is named as Vidyasagar Street in his honor. So you can see this. Now we come to the place where it is said Sri Ramakrishna had visited more than 100 times. House of a devotee. So we can imagine how devoted that person must be. So anybody can guess the name of that devotee? Yes, correct. Balram Bose. So that was known as the Master's Parlour in Calcutta. Master's Parlour, it was sanctified so many times by the Master's presence, so much samadhi, so much dancing, singing, talking about God has been held there, because many people who could not go to Dakshineshwar used to come and meet the Master there. And Swamiji, Raja Maharaj, all have gone there so many times. It was very near Mayarbadi, where mother stayed. It is just walking distance from there. Hmm. And I was very lucky because my home was very near these places where I stayed, my family. So we have gone there so many times. Of course, went there after joining first time. So this, of course, by God's grace, now is under the Ramakrishna mission. So we will see. These are very recent photographs. So if you go there now, you will see it like this. Because it is very well maintained, since it is a branch of the Ramakrishna order. Now it is called Balaram Mandir. Yeah, and this is very near Girish Chandra Ghosh's house. I'll show you that photograph also. So this is the outside and this is the inside. So this is their drawing room, so to say. Here Sri Ramakrishna met the devotees, such a big place you can see. Of course the shrine has been built afterwards, but this place was sanctified by the Master's footsteps. Just imagine. Over 100 times he has gone there. So you can imagine. Now we are coming to the end. So, I should also show you the, Ratha Yatra. Ratha Yatra, they pulled a small Jagannath Rath. And they used to sing and dance. I should also show you that. Master also pulled it. So that it is still there. Every year they bring it out. And there is a sort of function there. So that image also I should show you. Here you can see. This is the small Rath. Yeah. It is still there. And every year in Jagannath Yatra, devotees come and have some small celebration. So now next we come to the house of, as I told you, Girish Chandra Ghosh. His house was very near. So I'll show you photograph of his old house as well as the photograph of his new house. Actually, it is interesting to note that now, maybe previously that was not the case, but now Girish's new house, maybe because of later changes, it is right in the middle of a road. So they cannot demolish it because it is a heritage building. Girish Chandra Ghosh, my God, he was one of the greatest playwrights of all time of any country. Yeah, he had such a genius, he could dictate 4 plays to 4 persons at the same time. I mean, he dictated one person some lines, he's writing that. Another play, he's dictating to another person then. Another play is dictating to a third person. Yeah, he was absolute genius. Unbelievable talent. So, he's a legendary figure in Bengal theatre and so I'll not only show you the image of his house but also the theatre which Sri Ramakrishna had visited and seen some of his plays there. So first let us see the photographs of his house, old photograph as well as new. This is the old house. And this is the new house. So this is right in the middle of a road. Yeah, it is almost opposite Balram Mandir, and mother's house is very near, just walking distance. So very interesting. Swamiji's house is also not very far, Simla. It is maybe from there, maybe 25 minutes, 30 minutes walking distance. So, this is Girish Chandra Ghosh's statue. Yeah, you can see that. I can zoom it also here for those who are online. His photographs are available. Sri Chetananji has written a book about him, Girish Chandra Ghosh. So you can read his life there. And if you want a small life, that book, God Lived With Them and all that is there. We can discuss it sometime. So, now another place, that was the house of Adhar Sen. Adhar Sen was a great devotee and he was a deputy magistrate. That was a very, very high post during those times. So, very close to Sri Ramakrishna, and Adhar was a very, very highly spiritually evolved soul, because the incident it was a tragic incident, but from that we know that he was a great soul. He died at a young age when he fell from a horse. But why did he fall? That is a very interesting thing. So Sri Ramakrishna told that he fell because suddenly he had the vision of God in his heart. He fell because that will bring some emotion, no? But what does it matter if one falls and dies after having a vision of God? I mean, what can be better than that? So I will show you a photograph of his house. This is Beniyatola Street, as it is called now. This is Adhar Sen's house. And this is the inside of his house. So there must be, his family must be living, we can see Durga Puja and all that. So this much about Adhar Sen, a very great soul, and he held a very important job also. Now of course Narendra's Swami Vivekananda. So actually Swamiji, when he was young, he used to study at his grandmother's house. So I will show you that a very old photograph of Naren's grandmother's place where he studied is still there. Just share it with you. And then also I will share an artist's impression. One second. So this is Narendra's grandmother's house, where he stayed, and Sri Ramakrishna came here to visit him. And once, it is unbelievable, I mean this, because Swamiji himself has said we have to believe. Once Sri Ramakrishna could not come, but he wanted badly to meet Narendra. So what did he do? He took Swamiji out from his body and brought him to Dakshineshwar, the soul of Swamiji. Can you imagine? That's why Swamiji said that this magician of Dakshineshwar, he can do anything. There is nothing he cannot do. So this is an artist's impression. Now you know Swamiji's house has been taken over by Ramakrishna Mission. There is a very beautiful museum there. All the photographs and all. So this is, you can see an artist's impression of Naren studying in his room. And Sri Ramakrishna would visit him there. Then now we come to another place which is called Sithi. Sithi, there used to be a big festival arranged by the Brahmos, which the master also visited. There are some incidents, but we are running short of time, so I'll just show you some photographs of that place. That it is Benipal's garden house at Sithi, and where Thakur had sat there, that place is marked, and now there is a marble plaque there, so we can see that garden house as well as the spot at which Thakur had sat. This is Benipal's garden house at Sithi. And this is the place where the master had sat. So it has been preserved very well, you can see. So now we are running a little short of time, so less of narration and more of photographs. Now we will go to Kakurgachi. Kakurgachi was a place owned by Ramchandra Datta, a great devotee. So he had built that place as a recluse sort of thing. In those days it was all jungle sort of thing. Yeah. So very beautiful place. The master visited and told that it is a very good place for sadhana. And very fortunately now it is under the Ramakrishna order. And some of the master remains are there. Yeah. Because the householders, when master passed away, it is snowing. So when the master passed away, then the householders wanted to bury his remains at Kakurgachi only. But fortunately they took, the monks took away most of it and took it to Belur Math. So this is very beautiful center of all the order now, you can see. This is a modern temple, Sri Ramakrishna's temple, and Thakur's remains are there inside. It's a very beautiful place. When you enter it, no, it is very narrow lane. So you say, where am I going? What is this place? I mean, you will feel that. But when you come suddenly, that huge campus is there. And now they have also acquired some land near and they have built a very big dispensary there. So the place is very big now. It's a very beautiful place. Calm. Although it's in the midst of the city, you cannot hear any sound. So this is in Kakurgachi where Thakur had sat. And now, as I said, not much of narration because we don't have time, so we'll just see the photographs. This is the photographs of Shaheed Minar. The English had built it. It was called Octorlony Monument or something. So now they don't let anyone go up because many people had gone and committed suicide. But Thakur had gone there. So he said that from Shaheed Minar I could see everybody appeared same. Big, small, everything appeared same. So how he connected everything with spirituality. So similarly, when one attains knowledge, then all other things lose their significance. I mean, they all seem the same because from what we give so much importance to, it becomes nothing when a man attains knowledge. So now another place which Sri Ramakrishna visited was the Raj Bhavan. At that time it was the Viceroy's place. So you can see now the governor of Bengal stays here. Yeah, huge area. My God. Because that time the Viceroy was a very important figure. No, now the governor is not so important because the chief minister is. So huge place. You can see beautiful building the English had constructed. And this is the place at night. See here. Huge pillars and all that. So this is now another place where Sri Ramakrishna had gone is the Fort William. This is the painting of Fort William, 1828 painting. So when you enter Fort William, you go downhill slowly. But you don't realize When you reach the bottom, then you see, my God, how low I have come. So again, Sri Ramakrishna connected it with spiritual life. He said, if you are attached to the world, attached to money and all that thing, you don't realize you are going down and down and down. When you go down a lot, then you find, oh my God, how degraded I have become. So this is one of the paths. So it seems straight, but actually it is going down. It is a downhill path. So only when you go down, Fort William, we had the opportunity to go because we took NCC training there. It is Army's place. So we had gone there. Huge place, my God, oh, acres and acres. The whole place belongs to the army. So this is the central Calcutta, which is called Esplanade. Yeah, a very old photograph, 1880. And this is the Calcutta Zoo. This is a very old photograph, 1900. 1900. And this is the entrance to that zoo. Now, this is a very modern photograph. Then this is the Indian Museum. Indian Museum, this is an old photograph, again 1905. So Sri Ramakrishna had gone there. So he saw a fossil. So he saw that fossil animal has been turned into this. Immediately connected it with spiritual life. That similarly, if a man lives with a holy person, he also becomes a holy person. So through association, if such a big change can come in an animal, then why can't it come in a man? So this is the Indian Museum old photograph, and this is the new photograph. Here you can see. It looks like this now. Beautiful place. We've gone there in our student days. So see everything. Huge place, my God. And then Kharda Shamsundar temple also the master had visited. This is the temple there. So I think now we are at the end of this is the image at Shamsundar temple. Here you can see. Beautiful image. For those online, I will just zoom and see. Beautiful picture of Krishna and Radha. Then this is the Star Theatre. Girish Chandra Ghosh's Star Theatre. In the inset you can see the old Star Theatre, now it is modern. So it is in Bagh Bazaar, it is very near mother's house. Just hardly a few minutes walking distance. So mother's house, from behind when you go, there's a railway track. So when we used to catch a bus or something, then we used to go behind sometimes, then go along the railway track. When you go right, then this Star Theatre is there. So I don't remember whether Star Theatre is before mother's house or after. Most probably it may be before. And just left of this is the ghat where Ganges, where mother used to have her bath and all that. This is the Armenian ghat where Sri Ramakrishna had gone when he had gone to this house of a devotee here that is called Banshidhar Modak's house. Sri Ramakrishna had visited. This is another place, suburb of Calcutta. So I think now it's time to end. Yeah. I did not go into much detail later because it will take a lot of time. Some incidents were connected with those places also. But we just saw the photographs. So maybe later we can discuss in detail. So let us end here for today. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.